it's Dizzy. This is my solar fence charger. If you look really close, you can probably see the little light there flashing that shows that it's on and it's working. Last week when I switched the wires, I noticed that the light was not shutting off. It was still flashing, which made absolutely and positively no sense. After all, I had it turned off. So, didn't have time to do anything with it then, and I just left it. Came out yesterday determined to get to the bottom of it because I kind of needed to be able to turn that off and on and wasn't sure what to think. And needless to say, I didn't want to just touch the wing nuts there to loosen the wires up. This is a plastic square, and I was able to use that to loosen up the wires. First one I took off the red one. The charger that I used to have here had the fence on that side, and got that off and figuring now that'll make it so that it's not any power going to the wire. And I touched the wire, and much to my surprise, I got a shock. And that's when I realized what I'd done. So I was able to get that back on and took off the correct one. And once again, I touched the wire because after all, there's nothing connected now to the fence. Shouldn't get any shock. I got a shock even worse. At that point in time, I was completely stumped. I took off the ground wire again, and not wanting to possibly get bit again, I did the smart thing and I went and got my fence tester, which shows what kind of a charge I have. Let's see if you can see it. If you look, you can see it flashing, showing it it's working. And I tested a fence up that way. And sure enough, juice was flowing through. So that meant unless the charger for some reason was putting out energy to the fence without being connected, something else was going on. Now, fence in there has wire as well, and we share fence from along that fence, along back there, up to, I don't know if you can see the gate that I have back there or not. And then hers goes, and she's got more fence back there because she's got a L-shaped field. I disconnected her charger. Hers is not solar. Hers is plug-in. Got hers unplugged, checked the fence, and lo and behold, there was no longer any power going through it. So then it was a matter of checking the fence. There was no power going through now. It meant that at some place the wires had to be crossed. And back in that corner back there, I found where the wind had blown. The wire had been spliced together for her fence, and my fence had gotten tangled up in it. So even though I knew there was no electric flowing through, I was still spooked. I took my plastic square and got the wires undone. Came up here and made sure this was off and reconnected everything. So I was glad I was able to figure it out. But I'm going to admit, this morning when I went to swap the wires around, I was still a little bit spooked, and I did not touch them at all when I was switching the wires. But at least my shocking mystery was solved, and hopefully I won't have that problem again. And I will talk at you later.